Hey guys, it's Nicole, and I'm here to give you guys a little bit of relationship advice. I mean, even though I haven't been in full relationships myself, I'm just here to give you my input on what I think is a healthy relationship to have. Okay, so I think a couple things that's good for a relationship is trust, um, respect, and understanding. Because you don't want to sit there and have no respect for his or her friends. You want to know what they want. You need to understand their point of views. Like in a girl point of view, if you sit there and she sees you flirting with another girl, or a girl as a friend that you had for a long time, she'll be like, you know what, I don't like what he's doing with her. It's giving me off about him. What if he's sitting there talking to her and when he says, oh, night to me or something? And a lot of girls are paranoid about that because they feel so insecure already, and they just feel that a guy will cheat on them and that they're not worth it enough. That's what leads to a lot of difficulties and problems. And I even had them. You feel that they're doing something else, and sometimes you find out that they are, and it literally breaks you down because I don't understand how you, a girl or a guy, can cheat on each other. I get it, there's another girl, but at least break up with her and look bad for going out with another girl again, other than sitting there and cheating on her and making her hurt even worse. Honestly, I would rather be broken up with than be cheated on, because being cheated on, you just feel like I gave all this trust in this person. I thought they were mine, I thought I loved them, and then they go off and kiss another girl, or they make out with another girl, or they want to date another girl. And honestly, the girlfriend then usually blames that other chick, but sometimes that other girl doesn't even know that you even exist. And he sits there and he plays with both of you at the same time, and then she finds out, and then she's pissed, and then you guys probably end up being friends, or just never talking to each other ever again. And even with girls doing that to guys, are you seriously gonna go there, have a boyfriend who loves you and treats you right? Even if he doesn't treat you right, just leave. There's no reason to stay and cheat. Just honestly, just get out. But if he's so sweet to you, and not even just that, if he's just a good boyfriend and you're sitting there oh, this guy's attractive, so I'm gonna go make out with him. Why? You have a perfectly good guy. I mean, you might get bored with him, but if you are, then I suggest that you leave the relationship. I'm sorry, that's my brother. And I suggest you just don't sit there and play each other, because that just ends in bad terms. And I honestly want to be friends with my ex-boyfriends unless they sit there and try and hurt me to no extent, and just to end it. And if you do that, I suggest you fix yourself, because people like you make me want to hit myself in the face. Well, hit you in the face with a book or a plane. Okay. I honestly find it ridiculous that guys cheat or girls cheat, and if you cheat on somebody, you just need to leave my sight, because that is horrible. I mean, if you've done it before, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, get out of my face, I don't like you. No, I mean, I'll talk to you, I'll get to know you, because sometimes people make mistakes, and I understand that, because people who make, we're human. I mean, it's a song, come on. And we all do something that we will regret, and one day we'll reflect on it, and it actually teaches us to be better people in the future. And that's something that I love about relationships, is that you learn from it, and you learn to get a better guy, and you learn to look for what's good and what's not into what you deserve for yourself. If you're sitting there and you're in a relationship and he's doing these things like drugs or something, and you don't like it, and he doesn't quit after a while and a certain extent of when you're worried about him getting in trouble, then don't go for a guy like that. I suggest, unless you can change that person when you're talking and say, listen, if we're gonna date, I don't want somebody like my ex-boyfriend who smoked and drank, so I think it's even better just for yourself to cut down. And I think it's better if you just quit. I will be willing to, even if I don't want to date you, to help you. If you want to sit there and tell me, why you smoke, why you drink, why you do dip or something, whatever you do. I don't recommend doing any of that stuff because it really is harmful to your body, and I feel like it's not the right way to go, because when you're older and you have you're old enough at that age, like you're 21 or you're 18 and doing it illegally, to drink and get that stuff more frequent with the people, it usually leads to bad situations because you don't know what you're doing and you think you do, but you really don't. Nobody really knows when they're under the influence. No matter if you say, oh, I'm smart and I can handle myself, you really can't, because those drugs, that alcohol is going through your mind and your system, and it's messing you up, and it's changing whatever is around you. I mean, some effects might be different on other people, because other people might have to have a more of an intake of it. But even then, usually they get to that extent, so then they feel good. But then afterwards, it's just this depression and like, oh wow, why did I do that? I really messed up. And it's just this full of regret, unless you're this, I mean, and if someone's a drug addict and they don't see it really hurting themselves, well, they know it's hurting themselves, but even like when they're older and they keep doing it, they're doing it for a reason, and it's because it's an addiction and you just can't quit, so the chemicals or how it tastes or whatever is in what you're doing. And I just really recommend that you don't go for someone like that, because usually they can end up like an alcoholic or a pothead, or they keep doing that type of stuff. And then in that, if you want kids and if you want a family and a future, especially if you're older dating someone, and you want someone that you don't want someone that smokes and drinks like that, because if you have kids, that can affect your kids, and like if they don't have a father, if they don't have a mother, I just recommend you stay on, like, not completely, like you're gonna drink when you're older most likely, unless you have a problem, and you're gonna most likely go out and do that type of stuff, but I recommend you don't get someone that's gonna turn into like an alcoholic. I mean, even though that can happen eventually over time, but I recommend you get someone that's willing to do at the legal age and just be fine with doing a certain amount of it, instead of getting out and getting drunk every night and just leaving you at home or alone and wondering what the heck happened to them, or where are they. For the guy point of view, I'm going to that on a relationship. If a girl is sitting there talking to like her guy friends, you think, wow, she could be attracted to him. Wow, is he hotter than I am? Does he have a better body than me? And because a lot of girls are like, oh my god, he's so hot, his body, and then they like see his personality, and we literally like back away. Well, at least my type of friends. If I see a guy, and there is one at my school who is really attractive, and I talked to him for literally 10 minutes, and I wanted to punch him in the face, and his attraction just went downhill because his personality was horrible and disgusting. He was literally so rude, and he was so immature, and I just was so not attracted to him anymore. You have to have a good personality. I'm sorry, but honestly, girls like good personalities, especially in guys. And if you are cute and stuff, and you have like a rockin' personality, you're just like right up there usually. And then I just hate it when in a relationship all your friends have effect on it, like especially in a girl part of the relationship. Their friends, literally their opinions on the boyfriend mean a lot. Like if your friends are like, oh, don't talk to me about him because I just don't like the sound of him, then they just need to deal with the fact that you're dating him, unless he's sitting there doing bad things to you, treating you like crap, and they know it, and you just are so blinded by it, and you keep going back, and they have a right to say, I do not want to hear about your problems anymore because I hate seeing you hurt, and if you're not going to end it, then I'm ending you talking about it, but I'm still going to be your friend about it, and I'm still going to be your friend. Like, I'm not just going to drop a friend. I mean, I'll get mad, and I'll say, well, if you're not going to end it, then I can't help you anymore. That's all I'm really going to say, but, I mean, I still love you like my best friend and stuff. I'm just not going to deal with the crap anymore and hearing it. And that's happened to, like, a couple of my friends, and they ended up fixing, like, their problems, and by like with my help, and I've helped them understand about a relationship, and it's turned out for the better with a lot of people, especially going through like tough times with friends. Like if you lose a friend and then you become really upset, sometimes your boyfriend doesn't want to hear about it, and they don't want to deal when you're sad because they don't know how to handle it, and they feel like it's so overwhelming for you, and you just look at them and you're just like, well, yeah, I'm going through it. I think I know it's overwhelming. And you just need some support. That's another thing, you need support in a relationship. And having a good supporter there, that even if you're like doing sports, or you're just sitting at home, you lay on that couch, you do that, you go, babe. I mean, work it. Strut your stuff on that couch. Or if you're going in sports, oh yeah, you spike that ball, you lift those weights. Whatever you're doing, you need someone there to bring you up sometimes, because you get low at times in your attitude, and you just don't want someone to be like, oh, well, I mean, I guess you're upset, so we're not going to talk right now. I'll talk to you later when you're in a better mood. Like, that's not good. You want someone to be there and say, you know what, I'm going to cheer you up. Let's do this. Let's play this game. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about something happy. Let's be happy because we're together. And just someone positive. And, I mean, there can be bad times with both of you, and you both completely are down, and you're just like, you know what, maybe I'll talk to you tomorrow night, or I'll talk to you tomorrow, and just take like a little break because you're just both down. You just don't want to get into a fight or something break out, and that's perfectly fine. But if you're sitting there and you're upset, or he's upset, and you're not helping, you need to do something. You need to fix that, because they really want your help, no matter how much they say, alright, I'm going to bed night and I'm upset, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Don't say, okay, bye. Say, no, we're going to talk about this, we're going to talk through this. Even though guys don't like to talk about their feelings, well, you guys need to get some dang emotions and start talking about your feelings, because we like that. Okay, we like that. And I just recommend you go after a guy that really suits your personality, because if you don't, you're probably going to be bored or just really annoyed with them, because if they're really cocky, if there's a guy and he's really cocky, and then he's boring when he's not around his friends, you're just gonna be there, and it's kind of annoying, because you want them to be all like, oh, happy and energetic and, you know, having fun with you. And then if you get a girl that's all depressed all the time, and it's hard, and honestly, I recommend guys to build a girl up. But if she's like really down, and she's like having some problems, and I've been through something like that before, and it was really hard, especially when like my ex-boyfriend told me he didn't want to hear it anymore. That was like really hard, because you want someone there to help you and like make you more positive. But I recommend, if she's really, I don't think you should really get involved with her completely. I think you should be there as a friend for the time being, and then if you guys are talking, and if you guys are dating, bring her up, go out and go get her, and be like, we're going on a date, don't do this, like, you're gonna be fine, I promise you, we'll get through this, or whatever's happening, you'll get through this, and I know you're strong. I honestly recommend that, to do that and say that to her, because that brings a lot of confidence to any guy too, if he's going through like rough times and depressing moments in his life, and he needs some light in his life, and that could be you for the time being. But you can't be so dependent on that person for your happiness. Like, I put a lot of happiness into my ex-boyfriend, and it ended really badly, like when we broke up, and that was like, you got really down. I got really down about it, and that's what you don't need to do. You need to be like, okay, we're in a relationship, it's high school, so I'm not going to be making a big deal about it unless it gets pretty serious after a certain period of time. But don't make them your whole life, because that just really destroys you and hurts you in the end, and you don't know what to do without them. And you sit there and you're like, for months and months, you're like, I still want them, I still love them, and everyone's telling you need to move on, and it's going to happen, I know you can, but you just lose all this faith in yourself, because that person that was always there for you and always like pushed you to go and encouraged you and gave you the courage is not there anymore, and they literally just disappear out of your life. And I recommend you be friends, honestly, with your ex-boyfriend or girlfriend, because that's seriously sometimes the best thing, and it's really fun when you're like, oh yeah, I already heard the story, oh yeah, I remember when we did this, oh yeah, I remember when this happened, because a lot of your good memories happen when you're in a relationship, and a lot of bad ones too, and they can reflect on that person, and you can give him or her, like, girl or guy advice, even though it's like people call it weird or awkward. I'm doing it, and I think it's like pretty cool. I'm just like, I want this girl to get the better side of you that I didn't get, even though it's like a little jealousy. You're like, I have one less problem without you, and I'm better off being single. I think being single is pretty cool, guys. I don't think you need to be in a relationship 24/7. Like, some people always think you have to go from guy to guy or girl to girl, and I'm just like, I have food, and I love my food and my friends and my family, and that's all I have, basically. And I have, like, my guy friends, and they're pretty cool and chill, and I'm pretty happy with that. And, like, maybe I talked to a guy before, but that's it. It happens. It doesn't. You meet new guys along the way, and it's all just a learning experience overall. Like, this is seriously the biggest time of learning. It's not based all just school, it's like life learning too, like on what your future is going to be like, what type of person you're going to be. It all reflects and who you're going to have in your life from, like, high school and college, and then you get into the real world, and it's pretty crazy to think about that. So yeah, I think relationships, you just need to have trust, you need to respect, and you need to have understanding for each other, and just don't be a bad person. Like, honestly, I think people should really wake up and be more mature and realize, wow, what I'm saying hurts her, what I'm saying hurts him, this isn't right, I shouldn't be doing or saying this, and just realize there's a lot more to my life than doing these, like, drugs, or doing this, being in this clique, or being on this team and being someone I'm not. Try to find your real self and surround yourself by awesome people. So yeah, bye.